What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into Beta Ray Bill, issue number 2. Now, if you didn't catch issue number 1, go ahead and check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything that's been going on in this line. Now, in the last issues, we saw that Thor is now the ruler of Asgard, and he had returned to Asgard where Bill was defending it against the King in Black. Thor shows up, kind of makes Beta Ray look bad, and so Beta Ray decides it's time for him to go do a new adventure, to get out of here and go find Odin so Odin can make him a new hammer. Now, this is written by Daniel Warren Johnson. Color artist is Mike Spicer, and lettering is VC's Joe Sabino. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we jump into issue number 2, Bill is sitting here playing ping pong with himself. And he's talking to Scuttle, trying to figure out where Odin might be. Because Odin's last known location was during the battle with Donald Blake on Asgard. And we saw that in Thor issue number 13 and 14. But from that point, he kind of just disappeared with no sightings since then. But in this same moment, the alarms on the ship start going off because there's some kind of life form that is on the ship. And so Bill, he goes searching. He searches every single room trying to find this individual, trying to see where they might be, who it might be. And as he comes into the kitchen, he runs into none other than freaking Skurge. Now, obviously, Bill's mind is freaking blown right now because Skurge died. And that's exactly what he tells me. He's like, what the hell, man? Like, how are you alive? And Skurge lets us know that he is dead. He's been dead. And he finally had made his way to Valhalla. But the one issue that he has with Valhalla is that there's no freaking guns. You know, they got swords, knives, bows, staffs, but they have no guns. You know, for him, how can you call a place heavenly when there is absolutely no guns? But that's not the reason that Skurge is here. Skurge is here because when he was in Valhalla, he got bored. And he decided he wanted to go check in on some people he may know. And this is when he saw what happened between him and Lady Sif. He saw him get rejected. And it literally broke his heart. You know, he literally cried out for him. And in that moment, he demanded the Valkyries give him temporary leave so that he could help him on his quest. To kind of be his wingman, if you will. And Skurge isn't giving him an option in this. You know, Bill, he wants to do this by himself, but Skurge isn't having it. He's like, you know, this is what we're doing, man. Like, we're doing this and we're doing this together. And Skurge kind of helps himself out a little bit because he knows where the Allfather is. And this is when we pick up at a little hole-in-the-wall bar. And Bill and Skurge make their way inside, and they go up to the bartender, and it doesn't take long for trouble to commence. And this guy starts picking a fight with Bill. And Bill's not wanting to have it. You know, he's not trying to fight anybody. He's not trying to have any violence. He just wants some answers. He wants to know where Odin may be. But before Bill can even say anything to this guy, Skurge comes over and just slaps the crap out of him, knocking him to the ground. And this is where we see a bar fight break out. And everything is chaotic. Punches are going left and right. People are getting clotheslined. And Bill gets smacked in the face with a club. But then out of left field, that's when we see Pip the Troll come out of nowhere and kick this dude straight in the face. And Bill, he's confused, like Pip, what are you doing here? Now Pip, he had watched him leave Asgard. And so Pip was like, all right, well, I'm gonna follow him. Now, as everybody's sitting here fighting, we hear a thunderous voice commanding everybody to stop what they're doing. And everybody turns, and we see the Allfather carrying a keg over his shoulder, and it appears that Odin has been hiding out in this biker bar. And so they all sit down at the table, and they have a talk. You know, Odin's been looking for a place to kind of lay low ever since he handed the throne over to Thor. And this place seems like a good place to lay low for him, and plus he gets to make his own beer in the back, so you know, life's going pretty good for Odin right now. But Bill, he kind of jumps right into it. He lets Odin know that he needs a new hammer. But Odin tells him, you know, I've heard about Stormbreaker and I'm truly sorry for your loss. But Asgard is also filled with weapons. The halls are just filled with them. Why not choose one of them? And Bill lets him know, none of those weapons let me transform back into my normal self. And that's something that he wants. He needs that power back. But Odin, in a disappointed tone, tells him, look at him. Odin is a beat down old man at this point. He's a beat down old god. He doesn't have the power or the influence that he once did. And even if he were to get the dwarves to craft him a weapon that's dang near unbreakable, it still wouldn't possess the power that he needs. Because that power comes from magic. And Odin no longer has that magic. It left him a long time ago. And then Odin tries to do the whole spiel of, you're beautiful on the inside, but Bill isn't hearing that. He's been fighting for Thor and for Odin for years. And then Thor goes and breaks his hammer, the one thing that gave him real happiness, a gift that was bestowed upon him from Odin himself. And now he feels like Odin is just turning him away. But Odin lets him know, I know what it feels like to hate who you are on the outside. And so he tells him, there is one way that you can make this happen. But it's going to take you down a dark path. Because you're going to have to go to the realm of fire. He will have to travel to Muspelheim. Because there, in the realm of fire, he will find the Twilight Sword, the blade of the demon fire god, Surtur, the same fire god that took out his home world, that took out his people. Now, ever since his last defeat, he's been separated from the sword, unable to use it. Now, it's really unclear why at this point, but as a result, his power has greatly diminished. His daughter Cinder currently rules over the realm, but she is not wielding the sword either. And so, Odin believes that if Bill were to get this sword, he could use it for his own devices. Now, Surtur used the life force of the planets in Bill's solar system to power Twilight. And Odin believes this to be so much power that it could turn him back into his regular self. And he lets Bill know that the sword lies in the deepest, darkest holes. And so this is where we pick up with Bill and them in the ship, and they're making their way to a portal. And on their way to this portal, he's talking to Scuttle, because Scuttle's telling him, the last time Surtur showed up, he failed. His planet, everyone. And so now this gives him a chance to reconcile that. Because really, when he found Asgard, it was kind of an escape from his failures. And after Odin gifted him Stormbreaker, he was content with his life. He was kind of happy for once. He could forget the shame of letting down an entire planet. He spent so much time with the gods, he almost forgot that he was just a mere mortal. And in his mind, he never deserved to be in the house of the gods. And that he's gonna have to find his own path. And the only way he believes he can do that is by getting the Twilight weapon. Now, they could use the Bifrost to get there, but they don't want to get anybody's attention. So they're gonna have to do this quietly. And Odin told them of a portal, a hidden passageway, if you will. It's kind of a dark secret of Odin's. He doesn't want to tell anybody about it because he wants to keep curious adventurers away from this place, because there are a lot of treasures to be had inside of it. But he made this so he didn't have to use the Bifrost, and he could easily banish creatures who would seek to destroy Asgard. He then built a giant citadel around this portal, and it's protected by some of Asgard's most elite warriors. Now, as Bill and them approach, these warriors approach Bill, and they let Bill know that Odin contacted them and let them know that they're going to be coming. But they kind of heed a warning, letting Bill know that if they go in there, darkness could consume them. And if they return to this side with that darkness inside them, they will be met with Asgardian steel. And this is where Bill gives Skurge the opportunity to turn back. But neither of them are having it. They are in this 100%. Skurge, he's not wanting to head back to Valhalla just yet. And Pip, he doesn't like who he's on the outside either. He's a troll. By definition, he's repulsive. Bill desires to be loved, and so does he. And he doesn't know how to do that or what path to take. So for the time being, he's gonna follow Bill no matter what. And so they fly Scuttle through this portal, and getting onto the other side, it is a living hellscape. It is absolutely brutal. This is literally what hell looks like. Now, as they pass through, something happens to Scuttle. Something in this dimension changes her. There seems to be some kind of malfunction going on. And this is where we see the ship completely power off. Everything is just shut down. And this is when the crew, they turn around and they see some kind of robot, some kind of machine. And this thing is saying that its name is Scuttlebutt. So it seems like whatever happened in this dimension, it's transformed Scuttlebutt from the ship it was into a humanoid robot. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, personally, I am thoroughly enjoying this run. I really do love the artwork, and Daniel Warren Johnson has done such a phenomenal job of writing Beta Ray Bill, bringing him really into a great spotlight, and we're seeing a great story arc here of redemption. Not only of that, but it's going to be a story arc of being able to love who you are without needing some kind of hammer to transform you back to what you see as beautiful. And obviously, there's going to be tons of trials and tribulations, but he might finally get vengeance, get revenge, avenge his people. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and until the next breakdown.